Yeah, it's coming close to Christmas now, and I have a lot of fond memories of Christmas in the olden days too. That really changed a lot, but it's always good to remember the old people and how they celebrate Christmas. They always believed Christmas was a special time where they really believed in the celebration of the birth of God the Creator. And they believed that God the Creator created the whole universe. And if anybody questioned that, they would say, well, where did you come from then? Did you hatch from under potato? No. Well, your life starts from somewhere. We believe that God created all the universe and all the people and everything we have. The land, the water, trees, and so that's why we believe that. And that's not going to change for us because, like you say, the elders or people have always, the roots of their life was always spirituality first. That teaching, and then everything comes after. Family, house, recreation, jobs. I guess the example they use is they say, okay, there's me, say I'm in the village. I was born in the village, raised in the village, have all I need and not want. All I need is what I've had. And the number one in that structure is my family, our community people, our elders, all that. But in somebody else that don't believe that, they came from the same place, but they have a different view on life. There is no spirituality sometimes. To them, the value of their life is about money, rich, wealth. 5-6 bedroom mansion, big top job, and fancy cars, education, university, college. Oh, if you don't go to university, oh my God, my life is all apart. After all I worked for to give you this. I think sometimes they set up their expectation too high of someone else to make them happy. And that person struggles trying to meet that expectation, and when they can't do it, they become a failure. They set them up for failure instead of just accept them for who they are, what they can do, and love them as a family or a friend. Can you see the picture between the two differences? Where the old Indian would say, oh my son, I'm so happy for you, you're a great hunter. You're a good man, you got a good wife, you got a good family, you'll never be hungry. Or my daughter, you'll be the best mother. Care for your children never be abused or taken away. Those are the two. You see the two different values, one the other. So our people have always looked at life that way. So when Christmas becomes part of their spiritual life, when every year in our village, about, this is too close, about early in December or even earlier, chief and council that time weren't elected, they were appointed. How people elect their leaders that time is the elders and the older people who make the decision, watch the people all the time, all throughout the year. They watch you by the way you live, your strength, your willingness to help, how good a person you are as a leader. They watch you, chief and council. Then they'll meet and they say, there's Jimmy, you know, he'll be a good chief for us. Because they've been watching him for years. He don't do anything bad. He's a good community person. He likes children and good hunter and all that. He knows the river and the land. Those are your qualifications, just like when you go to jail for government. Oh, one time they gave me a form to fill out. I just give it back to her. I said, forget it. I'm not even going there. I said, I asked you a simple thing. I want to do something. I said, no, you want my whole life story beside another 10 paper. I said, forget it. That's how it is, so. But you see how our people are doing things different? So they approach him. They have a meeting, community meeting. And same with counselors. They look for 4 helpers for the chief. When they find these people, they call a big meeting and they put them in front there, and they really put their leaders on a high pedestal. Highly respected. You can't say one bad word or treat these people bad. Never will you be in trouble. So they put them up there and they ask the chief to be, they tell him that what they've been doing, and they said they're approaching him to ask him to become their leader as the chief, and he can accept that. They tell him the reasons why. And in return he can accept or he can decline it. If he accepts, most of the time they accept because of their quality. If they know they can do the job, they're going to know how to do dog teams and all that stuff, you know, hunting, cut meat, all that, dry meat. They can know all the quality of life, the traditional life. So he passed tests, so he said, I'll be happy to be your chief. So then they're going to set a time for celebration when he becomes the chief. Same with the counselor. So you have, that's your election process. There's no election, there's no taking sides, there's no talking about people like today, division. You're not allowed to do that stuff. If you can't doing that, they discipline you seriously. You see, you're not one of our people. So most people don't do that. They get along, they get hard together. That's how they survive for a while. If they didn't, they wouldn't. So now they got chief council before Christmas, about first week of December or even earlier. The chief job is to get these 4 men, have a meeting, give them clear direction where to go to hunt for the feast. They can go out, get goose, fish, rabbit, everything that's edible. That's their first job, for Christmas celebration. And they bring all this back, successful hunting. They have a house where they bring for the community feast. Everything. You don't take one piece of meat out of there. It's for the community. So they bring all that back, they cut it all up, and then they divide it and give it to every household where the woman for food now. They do this, they get everything ready. Christmas Eve is a big celebration where everybody goes to church. Have their spiritual time, they worship, sing, pray, just really celebrate, happy, kids and all. Remember, even the dogs come, they're all outside waiting. They got big 45-gallon drum wood stove with big pot of coffee boiling in the tea, and side table full of loose meat sandwich and salmon. There's no white food. Salmon and tea, coffee, water. Then they bless the food. And then after church, they have the reception, and then they all go home. And then next day, Boxing Day, party starts, feast starts, where they have a bigger place than this. One of Ella Moses, her house, they take all her stuff out, put it under her tent, and they just leave chairs around and tables, because they're gonna, 1 week they celebrate, Christmas Eve till New Year's Day. Every night there's feast and dance. Kids and all, babies and all. People bring their coat, blanket, pillow, put it under the furniture when the kids go to sleep. And then when they get up, they dance too. They make fun, you know. Our people don't believe in babysitter. You know why? It's your responsibility to have your children with you all the time. To look after them, protect them, and that no child abuse. Now today, people's kids are old. They have so much of that problem, right? But that's the way they prevent things today. Woman's job, auntie's job. So they take those rules on serious. So the prayer start, chief and council talk, and the elders, and then their spiritual leader pray over their food and over the people, and then they eat. Tons of food outdoors for next batch frozen, and just keep coming. And they eat, and then they dance. They dance till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. They're so happy. People come from Kelly, Carnax, Dawson, anywhere. And they'll come up and travel by any way they can get up there. Dog team, anyhow they can make it there. And they join the people, and people put them up. Even town people come there. White people come down with cats, anything that moves to get to the party. There was one time the white ladies always come to my mom's house, and they put their bags and their coats and their stuff there. My sister and her friend, one time they put their perfume on the shelf there. But then my sister and her friend, they just pour it on, and they come to the dance. Everybody smell them, they smell nice. And my other sister, she never danced in her life, and she found this guy that never danced too. They got brand new black boots on. They just water to make it shiny. They just took off, danced all night, any old way, and people just laugh and have fun. And remember we under the chair watch people's feet, how they dance, and Robert Joa, he's from Pelly, an old Indian guy. He never misses that event. He always got brand new different moccasins on, and we see him dance by his moccasins. We say, oh, he's dancing with another lady. He's got so many partners. So they celebrate like that every night from Christmas Eve till New Year's Eve. And then New Year's Eve, they go to church again. And then after church, they go home, and all the men come out with their gun, and they shoot up in the air about 5 minutes to 12. They shoot 3 times. And shooting people, howling, crying, praying, laughing, celebration. And then after 5 minutes after midnight, when the New Year come in, they do the same. They shoot 3 times again, and then the first gunshot is for thanking spiritually for God for the good year they had, sending out the old year, and then the New Year, bringing in the New Year, or good New Year. And then and people just go around, visit, have tea, and then they go to bed, and that's it. In church, they have a little Christmas tree, and town people send us down secondhand toys. We always get anything, little blocks, package, a little doll, one each, and maybe oranges, one orange, yeah. So it's just even that kids never say, I don't like this, I don't want that, you know. They're just happy. And sometimes before Christmas, the woman always sew, my mom always sews, she makes 2-3 moccasins. She always wrap it in brown paper and walk to town, and she sells it, and she buys a little bag of eggs and candies for Christmas. But she keeps we just get our share, and for the rest, she keeps under her pillow, and we don't touch it till we do. You can smell the oranges, but you can't touch it until she quarters. Yeah. So Christmas was I always said when I came here, there was a need for a church. I don't know if people shy away from the word church because of residential school maybe, but a spiritual building then. You know, it makes me sad to know they have this beautiful building. They have place to have meetings, dance, shop, library. Why don't they have a building where they can have a spiritual place to come together for events I just told you? And on Sunday, people don't work. People can come there and bring their children and teach them about things in life. It doesn't have to be religion. That's what's missing in our life. We have everything we want, but that part is dead. And that's why we can't function. That's why we have so much problems. Just think if we had that, you know, we can bring some of these young people up to the jail, that fill up the jail 80%. They could be here learning good stuff and build on it. Once you start talking to people about stuff like that, even if you just start crying because they know, and you know that there's something missing. I always say to people, you have spiritual, holistically, spiritually, physical, mental, emotional. You gotta look after them. You gotta be balanced. You don't have spiritual, that's why you suffer. I told the chief when I was at Siwa, so why don't 14 First Nations get together and challenge the government to meet you and build a nice spiritual house or something for your people where you can, a nice office like this, when people die, you can have a spiritual leader, they can arrange funerals for family, have nice tea, do all the paperwork, because I can do everything the funeral home does, you know. In the last 2 weeks, I just did 2 funeral paperwork, casket, the whole works, price, everything, and saved them a lot of money and a lot of information because I've done it for so long. And you can do all of that for your own people. Why don't we go to a flower shop and buy $300 plastic flowers? You can give some native boys a job to go out and pick, you know, naturally, and can make nice crosses out of wood and meat, and make little ones, give it to people. Why we spend money we don't have? I think funerals are getting so out of hand, like when you start spending 18,000, 20,000 on funerals. I wonder what God thinks when He just went to the cross with just a cloth in Him. You see, it's the white man world that got us trapped in this, I think. But is there enough native people that can sit down and talk about this and change it? I don't know. It's up to you guys. It's really up to your if it doesn't change, because there's not many elders left now, and there's not enough of them to speak out and get the work done, because they're old too, eh? It's a big job. But it's up to your generation if you feel that needs to be corrected, then you have to get together and do something. Even if you start on a small scale, you can do it just by teaching people and redirecting them. Like now, when there's so many families at Christmas time are in need, because it's the white people that are collecting food and money, all this for us all the time. But how can we go to one thing and spend so much money when we could use that money for something else? Does that make sense? Yeah. I mean, I would rather put that money to use for something else, for the little children that need, or an elder, or single parent. You know, that's how our people used to be. That's why money was never an issue for them, because they know it's not what they want, it's what they need. When you go to a funeral home, you know, EIA cover what they call standard funeral. They pay for everything. I think it's up to $2,200. You don't have to spend a cent. But some people, I think they pressure families and friends sometimes, because they start saying, you know, we want to get this, instead of getting the EIA package to cover everything, they sometimes say, well, we want this casket. It's nicer and bigger and for $4,000 or $5,000. That does something to you, to a person, doesn't it? And you already know you're limited. I know people said that to me. Said, well, you know, if it's me, I would tell my family, I'm sorry, I don't have that kind of money. I think it's just been good and respectful and doing things in a good way for the person that is important. Not all this other material and necessary things that our people never needed. I like this old Indian. He said, just put me in gunny sack. It's okay, you're just gonna try to be good. sometimes, you know, even around stuff like that, we get good sense of humor, you know. We don't need to hurt people, but we can laugh about everything. There's so much hurt. So you got my Christmas. Thanks, Mary.